Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ranwin Park Show. Today, with a new location and our first break in the Ranwin Park discography, I suppose it is called. I'm terribly sorry.
We didn't take a break for the holidays, but just this random week in January.
Yeah, it's Cone Miss, right? That's what it was.
Yeah, sure.
I moved. So that means I get a whole new area to explore for ads. Spoiler alert, I already looked up here all the time, so it doesn't actually change anything. That is why it is a week late. My apologies. But also, we have some news.
We do have some news.
That's the worst
I'm
theme
sorry.
song ever.
It's Kurt's job.
But this is your news.
It's your news.
So we actually got our first bit of fan mail, which is really kind of cool and weird. They are little cool handmade valet trays. They're made from leather. They have a blue, felt lining on the inside. They're really nice, and they say RWB on the outside in stamped leather. These are from a Piece of Craft Leather on Instagram.
And there's these lovely pictures on the screen right now of them. Good job, future
Yes.
me. Good job, future me, for doing that.
And resume.
And if you're wondering like what it's used for, basically it's like you put it next to your door, and generally wherever I go, I have a place that it's like as soon as I walk through the door, I've gotten home, and it's like everything that's in my pockets needs to leave my pockets as fast as possible. So yeah, it's a collection for that stuff. That's very cool.
Yeah, they got in contact with Bonka over Instagram because she basically runs all our social media.
Yeah, we have nothing to do with the show, by the way. Bonka runs the whole thing.
They were like, I want to send you something. I make cool leather things. And like looking through their Instagram, you can see they make a bunch of cool wallets and other stuff. And like really nice.
They knew we didn't need wallets. we blew all our money, so we don't need a wallet.
So they gave us something to pull all of our keys in.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's good. That's a
That
good.
makes a lot more sense now.
Sure does.
And
I have mine in my hand. It's a very supple leather. Continue on, ZK. I can't talk apparently.
Kurt,
It
that doesn't
smells
go in your wallet,
very
by the way.
good. And they're collapsible, so they like snap at the corners, and if you unsnap it, it lays flat. Bonka likes that because she can what she would use this for is taking it with her and then using it for knitting stuff like wherever. You just set it up and throw your stuff in there.
Also, tune in next week. This is going to be the all knitting show, where we've been told by our owner here that we're changing our format. Just going to be looking for knitted and crocheted finds on the internet.
The finest vintage yarns.
Well, very cool. Our first Ranwin Park merchandise, I guess, like physical.
It's fan mail, but it's
fan
like
mail.
But it's not like a mail letter. It's like an actually like cool object thing.
It's a thing. Yeah, it's a thing that's branded for this thing that we made that none of us can believe we're still doing.
So everybody else, if you're thinking of writing fan mail, we much prefer material goods.
Could you please etch that out in some leather for us?
Yes.
Or cash. I'll take
I need leather seat covers for the 240 that are like embroidered in Ranwin Park. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Any other news? Personally, if you didn't
You
see,
have your own garage. You moved. You have your own garage now.
it's true. I have my own garage, and the ramp truck has made its first journey. If you didn't see that video, it's a grinding good time. That's a weird statement, but it'll make sense when you watch it. Trust me. And
The other thing, while we had our week off, Kurt decided to do an Impromptu Ranwin Park to Live edition.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I pulled up I didn't want to have any spoilers for stuff I had already found in the Seattle area, so I pulled up the Phoenix Craigslist on my Twitch stream and was just browsing through some stuff. I can't remember if there was anything specific of note, but just your normal.
I don't know. You did twice the average length of our show.
True.
But
by
yourself.
how long it takes me to find things.
But you also get all the duds in between. Like there's a lot of just like, all right, that's not that interesting. That's not that interesting. That's not interesting. And then there's like that one that you're like, oh, that's gonna be really cool. And then there's like half a picture and 7 words.
Yeah, it's like, well, thanks.
So if you're really fiending for Ranwin Park content from missing a week, we'll have a link to the VOD.
Oh,
Will we?
thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Future me, get on that.
Yeah.
Really,
Nobody
really,
here.
I'm
I'm
planning
ready
on
for it.
all sorts of stuff on Cone this week.
really screwing over future me here. All right, before anything else gets thrown my way, let's get into the ads, which during the hustle and bustle of all this, I have no idea what I picked. I picked these.
Did you
weeks
pick these
ago.
like a month ago?
Yeah, they're from a while ago. So this is going to be as much a surprise for me as it is for you. Yes. I guess this is Ranwin Park. Let me find the actual ad. I think it was my favorite description. This is a 1922 1.5 ton truck, basket case, pretty much. Complete. Call.
Complete.
Information. Delivery available. Complete what?
Basket case. It looks like it's made out of baskets.
It truly does. So this is like I don't even know what it is. White Motor Company. It's early automobile.
White Motor Co. Old.
And it's
Beach delivery available?
It's in some dude's driveway, freshly washed, with wheels that don't have tires. And
These
don't even make
hold on.
sense.
These barely qualify as wheels.
well, I mean, it's the 20s. Let's be real. There's probably
These are like
more
these
wood.
look like 15-inch wagon wheels with like where's the
Yeah, I'm
tires
really
supposed to go?
confused. Yeah, where the rubber is supposed to go. Those are like
Because-
train wheels.
They are
Yeah,
kind
'cause
of like
I would
train
imagine
wheels.
the spokes to be like twice as long and then a thin like bicycle tire.
And look at the,
Right?
I mean, the size of the fenders lead you to believe that there's a lot of tire that goes on here. So I wonder if there's like a piece that we're not getting. But I mean, that can't be
But
true.
it's complete,
It's
so it's
complete.
there.
Yeah. It's complete. There's not even like a back to the cab. There's not even a steering wheel. There's the spokes of a steering wheel, but no steering wheel. I don't think complete is what they were going for here.
I like the rear fender just sitting on the pavement.
Yeah, just chilling above the wheel? Question mark.
You know if it was that low though?
Oh
the right-
jeez. It's gonna slam a 1922 white motor.
Like, is any of that original? It looks like it's just leftover like reproduction parts.
Yeah.
That almost make a complete shell of a car.
There's
Yeah,
a lot
because
of
every
plywood.
panel's a different color.
I mean, you say
They're
panel,
wood.
but that's wood. That's like plywood from Lowe's. Yeah, that's quite a thing. The roof is
$3,500.
the roof is so Flintstones too. Like it looks like.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I'm glad I found that.
Oh, the driveway is all wet and soapy, so he took time to wash it.
Right. How could this possibly have gotten dirty? And what could you possibly have washed? That's a trip. I'm happy about that. Good job, past me.
Good job.
It's a lawn ornament.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fertilizer rating of a white motor vehicle is. Kurt.
Me.
Nugs.
Nugs, and probably even less power than the White Motor Company Stagecoach. We have a pair of very rare Subaru 360s
No scope.
for $2,450. You can get a pair of not currently running Subaru 360s from 1969, apparently. I had to look these up. This was apparently the first Subaru to make it stateside, but imported. Who was it imported by? Bradley? The guy who would later go on to make the fiberglass Volkswagen kit cars.
Oh, great.
He imported 5,000 of them, according to the Wikipedia. And they were horrible. They were 2-piston, 2-stroke engines in the rear.
Yeah, 360 cc.
Mm-hmm. Like 20 horsepower.
Imagine
like
a
really
Beetle.
crappy Volkswagen.
Yeah, it's like a Beetle, but smaller and worse.
But
Yes.
with suicide doors.
The suicide doors, and apparently suicide driving, because what was it? They were pretty much a failure because Car and Driver, or some magazine at the time, called them unacceptable, just as automobiles.
Wow,
They
I had a
don't
teacher
drive
put that on
fast
my
enough.
report card once.
They, I guess, in crash tests, the front bumper ended up in the passenger compartment because there's nothing in the front; the engine's in the back.
Well, it's obvious. I mean,
Um,
these were made for the Japanese 360 rule. Like,
Right.
when these were made, that was the fastest automobile they could have. Meanwhile,
Well, yeah, this was like kind of like a K car essentially.
we had 15-foot land yachts with 500 cubic inch V8s in them at this point. You hit this into one of those, they're not going to know, and you're going to be stew.
Ooh, look at those visors.
Think they'll fit a
Um,
Corolla?
Those look like very strange attachment points.
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, but very
Is that
interesting.
a
I've never
young
seen
branded
one of
steering
these.
wheel?
You don't want an old steering wheel. You want a young steering wheel. What?
Yeah,
a
what's
nugget.
weird is like one of these is missing the roof, I guess.
Well, they're kind of, in a way, a hardtop convertible.
Yeah.
The whole roof is rubber sealed in place, basically.
But
with
like
the
these are
glass.
mossy and covered in schmoo and like have little bit of rust spots there, here and there.
Mhm.
These like combined are the best condition 360s I've ever seen for sale.
If you combine their forces,
Like most of these I've seen are literally just like a rotted shell in a yard.
It says one of them turns over. I was hoping there was pictures of the other engine because this one ain't got no heads on it. Like that's an open, exposed engine there. And yeah, I didn't see pictures of the other one. 6-volt battery. Sure,
I
that'll
think
be
they
fun.
had the 360 vans,
Oh, good. That'll make it faster.
but they're so cute. And they're
The
tiny.
badge is really cool. I liked the badges because it's like the stars. It's the same
Oh.
Subaru badge, but it's actually like cast out of metal instead of just a plastic or a sticker or whatever. It's pretty neat. When you
Yeah,
have to
they
look at the
have-
badge for the neatest thing on it, that's a problem.
Yeah, I have a van version of this, which is the
Oh.
tiniest little nugget.
3 fuses. Here's your fuse box. Oh man, spare's still there though.
Those wheels are interesting.
Yeah, they're basically.
I guess the hub is also this intersection of the
Yeah,
wheel.
basically. This basically bolts directly to that drum right there, which is of course in the passenger seat.
where else would you put it?
Ooh, Lone Star Super Co? What? Cooper Co? What
I don't know. Lone
Does that
Star
company still exist?
Clipper?
Clipper?
No, that's not a P.
This is a P.
Yeah,
Right,
it's-
there's not 2 P's though.
Oh. I don't know.
I know 2 P's when I see them.
I don't know what that means. I don't know that I want to know what that means. I'm
Top
going
speed of 80 something.
to move
No,
on.
that's miles an hour. Yeah. Or at least that's what the speedo goes to.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
no.
top speedometer.
No,
but
yeah.
No.
No. Just no.
I think the top speed was like 45 or something when I was looking up on.
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
The speedometer on the ramp truck also goes up to 90. That ain't gonna happen. ZK.
I have for you a pair of classic gyms. Another pair.
You found me a 352.
Mm-hmm.
not.
one like that's been left outside for 25 years.
I guess that is a
this is
FE.
two-
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's just super rusty.
Yeah. This is two, count them, two 1958 Rancheros. One with a 352 Interceptor and one with a 390. But it's really like 2.5, two and three quarters.
Yeah, the front I don't think is supposed to be on the back. I'm not sure. I am not an expert in this. But I don't think that's right. That's pretty rusty there.
Yeah. And
I don't think
old Rancheros are cool, but like these to me almost seem beyond saving. Especially that first engine shot that's literally been uncovered just sitting outside.
I don't know that I know anything about these. I thought the next generation, I guess, was the first generation of Falcon.
Any ceiling lamp covers?
Oh yeah, I have some of those in this house that I bought.
Oh, that just reminded me, the person in the background here.
Mm-hmm.
For those at home, we're looking for ideas for Ram One Park Bingo.
Oh yeah.
Ah, yes.
If you have any bingo, like little things that we would notice, like fingers in the pictures, or a random car, like a random picture of a different car in the ads.
Yes.
Ugh.
Let us know in the comments.
That's oh, it's a power steering car, an AC car maybe.
Yeah, it's grot.
It's pretty gnarly. Yeah, I just don't know that I knew that this generation existed of Ranchero. I thought they started the next, like, you know, the rat generation of Falcon.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess,
the 60s
I guess
rather
I
than the
just
50s.
didn't know that, or didn't remember that these existed, or
And there's really like 2.5 cars worth here, it looks like.
no. There is like 0.32% of a car here. let's be real.
I'm pretty sure I see 3 front left fenders.
Yes.
Yep. But how much of them?
Fair.
Hey, there's your firing order. 154.
28378. Wait.
Yeah, there's 2 8s. How is there 2 8s?
Is
1 5.
that a 0? That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
that a
154
That's supposed to be a 6.
2 6 3 7 8. That makes sense. That's a weird firing order though. Ford. You can't trust him.
Is that like a piston? No, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I like this tire that's completely shredded. Like, I don't know if that's like shredded from the road or it's just rotted that way. You know how long it takes a tire to decompose? That's
A
impressive.
millennia.
That's how long this has been sitting here.
So note here that these are on like basically the wheels themselves without tires are sitting on center blocks,
Mm-hmm.
and not very much in the way of foliage around them.
Oh, that's true. There is more
So,
than the
pro
yard,
tip for
though. Seems like they're good for
A
ferns.
little bit, but not more than or significantly less than your average Ford.
Hey, look there. It does have a factory AC car, or it does have the AC under there. I spotted that. I did that.
Mm.
I'm an old car person now. I did this.
Are you going to go on junkyard rescue finds or whatever the heck that show is?
Heck yeah.
Well, you see, you know that this is this engine because the letter G in the third letter of the VIN.
What's his name that does that for Roadkill? Steve
like
Mignata?
something Diamante or Magnanti.
I think, yeah, it's Steve Mignanti or something like that.
Yeah.
Those are interesting, but yeah, it is very weird. He just like walks up and is like, "Ah, yes, you see this Y stamped right here. That means that this is a blah 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 blah." You were on Wikipedia before that. Don't you lie to me.
If Cubes ever needs another job.
Right. Yeah, that's a very Cubes thing to do. But there would be a little bit of a difference in that he would then like go into some rant about why that car is some kind of cultural bad suggestion, that it's a bad influence on everybody, and judging by the little thumbnails I'm seeing, I'd make that mistake is going to be interesting. So let's dive into that. I'm seeing an interesting thing happening. All right, mine I do remember. I would make this mistake. Don't judge me.
I am judging you.
Don't judge me.
Does it come with a Tonka?
It might. This is
That's how you tow it out.
this is a 1994 Toyota Celica ST 5-speed manual that has been somebody's high school car and has been pimped. It has been
a little bit, yeah.
It has been taken to AutoZone and given the treatment of, hey, what kind of bolt-on stuff do you have? It's not very tastefully done. It's not very well taken care of. But it is.
I don't think there's a straight panel on this thing.
Probably not. But it is extraordinarily cheap.
There's a cat.
There's a cat also included.
Crossing off my bingo.
It is a generation of Celica that I really like. I think a plane just landed outside. And they're getting very hard to find. ZK, we kind of had this conversation a little bit earlier in the week. This generation and the previous generation of Celica are getting extraordinarily hard to find because they were super cheap, very low power, very undesirable, and every high school kid had one. So now they're this.
They're sort of like the undesirable Celicas.
They are.
Because there's like the last generation, the really smooth looking ones.
You mean the previous one to this?
No, the later ones.
You mean
that?
You don't mean like the edgy one, like the one that looked Too Fast, Too Furious?
Yeah. Yes, the Too Fast and Furious ones
Oh.
are more desirable than these ones.
Well, they had a better engine in them. Like they had a
Exactly.
powerful engine in them.
And these ones are left on the wayside and forgotten about.
Right. I would love to do this kind of stuff where I find cars like this, and you remember those Volkswagen Unpimp My Auto commercials?
Mm-hmm.
I would love to just do a series of that, of just like buying this, just bringing it back to original, and reselling it for the same price again and releasing it back into the wild. I would love to do that.
We need to come up with a fancy like Cone's Rescue something or another.
Undesirable Cone restores undesirable cars.
Humane car rehabilitation.
Hey, there's a finger. There's your bingo card.
Oh yeah, there's a finger. And a random disc caliper.
That does
yeah.
not belong to this car.
No.
Absolutely not. Yeah, not terribly interesting on automobile, but yeah, that's just something I would love to do. It would be,
this
fun.
does just remind me of the quintessential high school car.
Yep.
Like it's your first car you get in a wreck or beat it up. It's got the blue painted accents in the interior that are flaking off.
Dad bought this for me. It was cheap. I didn't really want it. I tried to make it my own. They did put a MR2 steering wheel in there, which is like kind of desirable. So somebody knew the right things to get. Probably
It's got the
previous owner.
like AutoZone wing on it.
That wing is atrocious.
Those Timberlands are probably worth more than the car.
That wing didn't look good on anything ever. Whoever designed that wing in general, you're a bad person. bad
Blue paint
person.
front calipers.
Guess they like the blue, huh?
Mm-hmm. They
All
had a
right.
theme going.
Kurt,
They had a
This
theme
looks like
going.
a Sylvia. Is this
Kurt?
a Sylvia? No. Oh.
No,
it's the desirable one.
it is. It's the theme. I have here a 1992 Toyota Celica GTS all-track turbo for $7,500. Clean title, 115,000 miles. Manual, obviously. Just needs a power steering pump.
It's a Stour peeing pump.
the Stour peeing pump. You know what I mean. Because it whines. Like me. So yeah, all-wheel drive. I'll take it.
Hey, Kurt.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Buy it. Yeah, it was one of these.
These are cool.
They're cool. I liked this generation too. Before they went to the quad headlights, their last generation of the pop-ups.
Were these the cheater cars, or was that the later ones?
It was the later ones that was the cheater car. And if you don't know what we mean by cheater car,
I don't.
these were the reason we have this car. Like, there's no other cool Celica, but the all-track turbo is just like this random all-wheel drive turbocharged one. It's a WRC rally car, but they had to make them for the street. They had to make a certain amount of them to like say, hey, this is a real car.
Yeah,
To use it in the right, yeah.
Yeah. So if the actual rally car, during the era, they were restricting them by turbo size and how much air inlet you could get, and like restrictor plates and that kind of thing. Well, they managed to make it to where as the car made boost, the turbo basically lifted off of its restrictor plate and made a gap and pulled air around the restrictor plate. And they were staggeringly fast in their class for some reason. And yeah, it's just one of those super well-known cases of very good cheating.
Yeah, because it was so brilliant because, like, without boost, with, like, the car just sitting there, you couldn't tell at all.
Right. Everything looked completely normal. Very, very clever. These, of course, don't have anything like that. They're just... This is the same exact motor you get out of an MR2 turbo from the era. It's like, it's nothing terribly crazy, but it is all-wheel drive.
They're cool.
It's got a hood scoop. It's got a wing on it the normal ones don't have.
And not the previous one that we saw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God.
This is a more tame factory wing.
I don't think I've ever seen one with these factory wheels on it. Like, because the wheels are very dated looking. Like, they're not.
Yeah, kind of
Great.
generic, bubbly 90s.
So it's very rare.
They look like the ones that were on the SVX almost.
Yeah, very similar.
They're almost like the teddy bear wheels.
Kind of. Oh, that engine. They're a bear to work on. I will tell you that much. Because the engine
seems
leans
like it would be.
Leans to the firewall.
100% engine fill.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is the era of the spider web braking systems.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, these were a nightmare. This is the ABS like solenoid system down here. So anytime you ever had to do anything with the brakes, trying to bleed these things was a nightmare. Because you usually had to cycle the computer with like a paper clip across certain terminals in order to get the thing to cycle through its ABS. That's fun. Real fun.
So you're really selling this to me.
Kurt, you should buy this. I'll hack
It's got
that.
a two-mount intercooler. It's cool.
I'll hack that ABS system out of there in no time flat. Probably
Make
the
it
last
less
car with a
sick.
flapper MAF too.
I do like the stock triangulated like strut tower brace though.
Yeah, they tried. Like it's not a lie that this is, a rally car.
Mm-hmm.
This is a car that you would probably really enjoy off-road. You can see they don't sit low. They're actually a little jacked up. Unlike the other one that was jacked up in the other sense entirely. Neat. They hold their value pretty well, too. $7,500 is a lot of money for this car, I feel.
Yeah, it's a little expensive, but it's cool.
I've seen a few. The previous generation, the squarer looking ones, I really love. Those are extraordinarily hard to find, and yeah, very, very valuable. Neat. ZK.
Didn't bring a Celica.
No, I have a truck.
All right,
is
moving
a
on.
A 1989 Dodge D100 pickup truck, which is it's like the perfect Dodge pickup in my opinion. It's got the square headlights, the clean crosshair grille, and the big ram ornament on the hood.
I like that those are the most important features.
And this one's in really good shape for $3,850. Like, I've been kind of eyeing these off and on for several years. And this one's in pretty good shape, and it's a decent price for what looks like a good runner.
It looks
And it's
like,
a
judging by the
318.
description, a lot of the maintenance stuff has been done to it. Like, it's been well taken care of.
I have one of the lines in here is I have put well over $2,000 in parts and labor in this, and like that's reasonable and makes sense, and I believe it, and that's a good thing. It's not like those ads we see where I spent $25,000 in this car.
I'm sorry that you're an idiot then.
This is like $2,000 worth of parts and maintenance. deal, and it's like the perfect like faded baby blue.
Does the dog come with it?
I hope so.
Yeah, it doesn't even have like a bed liner. The bed's not all destroyed, like things haven't been thrown into it. Because these were work trucks. Like this is a workhorse of a truck. It's got a handwritten for sale sign. What's the keypad down there, you think?
CB radio or
I think it's a CB.
Interesting. From certain angles, you would almost swear that it's like primer gray, but I think that's actually the color of the truck.
Yeah, it's blue. Faded blue.
It's so...
And it's got the handwritten, like, everything about this truck on the driver's side window, but none of the pictures actually show a picture of it.
No direct picture.
Yeah, so you can't really read it.
Weird place for rust there along the roof. I guess it just gathers in that drip rail, perhaps?
Maybe.
You don't really see a lot of this era of Dodges, mostly I think because they were Dodges. But yeah, these...
But also, the ones with the hood ornament, I think is really short window, like late 80s, early 90s. And that's one of my favorite features on these old Dodges, because big hood ornaments like was a short fad that died real quickly.
Right. They went from the 80s had big ornaments. Now we just do big grills.
Yeah.
Like that, the grill in this truck is smaller than a normal like tiny economy car's grill these days.
It's smaller than your modern Lexus.
Yep. It's neat in the most boring ways possible.
I know, it's perfect.
It's the Roadmaster equivalent of a pickup truck. That's very ZK. I could see it. I've never been... I can't say I'm personally like a huge fan of the body style, but it's
well, we can all be wrong occasionally.
That's true. It's neat to see one though, because like I said, you just don't see them anymore. You do
yeah,
not
these
see this
don't
truck.
Exist. What I really want is like this era of a Ram Charger.
I
which
knew
is
you were
the
going to
same
say
thing.
it. I had it in my head.
It's like the same thing, but like the Bronco body with, so it's like the two-door SUV.
And
with all
bad.
the glass in the rear.
Like they were bad. They were not good at off road. They were not good on road. They were just bad.
But they're so good.
All right. 2 Celicas and a Dodge joining our fleets this week if we have no self-control.
I've spent a lot of money on the Roadmaster lately. I don't have spare money for another car.
I spent enough money to buy a car in fuel to get the ramp truck up here, so mildly interesting. This is 1968 Volkswagen Type 3 Squareback. I bring you this. Buy it. I bring you this because somebody got Kurt talking about Volkswagens recently. And he was like, I don't really think there's any interesting Volkswagens besides the Carmen Ghia. And I went, not really. These were the ones that I thought were interesting. I always liked the Squareback and the coupe version of these, which I can't remember the name of. Is it just a Squareback or Notchback? I don't remember what they're called. But they're all like VW Type 3s or whatever. These have a super cool look to them. For what is basically a bug underneath, and I still don't like bugs, these are super cool looking. And it's a shooting brake, ZK.
That's why I said you buy it.
They want money for these, unfortunately. They're not cheap automobiles to get. But if I had the Volkswagen... Did you say the wheels are sad?
If you had a Volkswagen?
If I had to have a Volkswagen, I said.
Okay.
If I had to have a Volkswagen.
He's trying to imagine a world.
I think he's trying to throw shade at the TT that's sitting outside.
No, I see, yes. He's saying he already does have one.
If I had to have an air-cooled Volkswagen, I consider there's 2 generations of Volkswagen. There's air-cooled, and then there's boring German. Those are the 2 generations of Volkswagen. Look at that face. Look at that face.
I suppose I forgot about these when I made the statement about the Carmen.
I had a feeling that you were probably also into these.
Yeah, I remember when I was first looking a couple of, or even like the, because there's the squareback, there's the fastback, and then there's like a not. I think the notchback is kind of just a unfastbacked coupe looking
Right.
thing.
This guy really likes wagons.
I was gonna say, like, this is a pretty cool selection of vehicles in his yard here.
Yeah, because he's got a 3 Series wagon. I'm assuming that's what that is.
Couldn't tell you. Where's Melissa?
And then a Wagoneer in the background.
Yep. And a Volkswagen with a little tray down there for your drinks and a fire extinguisher.
And a fire extinguisher.
And a fuel-injected pancake little 4. I didn't know that existed back in '68. So that's pretty neat.
That's actually pretty tidy looking too.
Yeah, it doesn't look nearly as like one thing that I've never liked about Bugs is I think it's a super ugly engine. There's nothing attractive about them.
Yeah, and just that there's not like oil everywhere.
It's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a lot of money, but I figure it's probably reasonably worth the money that it.
I mean, they
worth.
couldn't have made many of these, or there can't be many left, at least.
They're all the rage at the Volkswagen shows and whatnot, though. If you go to a Volkswagen show, there's like the bug row, the bus row, and then there's these off in their own little corner. And they certainly do have quite a following.
Do you think the fuel gauge doesn't work?
Oh, yes, the spare gas tank in the front.
Yeah.
I don't know where the gas tank actually is in these. Like in a Bug, usually it's just like.
You probably sit on top of it.
Yeah, that's true.
For safety.
For safety. Retrofit reverse lights in there too. Neat.
Yeah, actually, I like this a lot.
I like it. I don't know that there's a world in which I would own one, but I find them interesting. If I had to go to a Volkswagen show, that's probably the corner I would stay in.
This world I would own one in.
What corner is Kurt in?
I'm in a classic 1971 British Jensen Interceptor 2.
Full title.
Full title, $9,000. Seattle. Maybe more interesting than mild, but it is a garaged 1971 Jensen Interceptor 2 coupe. Mostly original, great condition, V8, automatic transmission.
3, nice.
Built for crossing Europe at high speeds. It's a dramatic-looking fastback. Made in West Bromwich, England. Yada, yada, yada.
It's such a weird... They've touched on it here. It's a unique mix of British class, Italian design, and American muscle. However, it's like... It's not the best of any of those.
Right.
No, like,
it's a little weird.
It's like the lowest bidder of each.
Right, exactly. They're pretty frumpy looking.
Yeah.
This is an okay angle. When you see the side angle, it's really...
Yeah.
That has a bit of the British Jag styling almost.
Sure. And just a little bit of that like late 70s Italian weirdness where they were doing the weird stuff with like the four-door Lamborghinis thing and the really bizarre design that they were doing. The front
house though.
The front angle is not bad.
The only thing I know about the Interceptors is like it's like the Mad Max car. Like beyond that, I don't know anything about it. Also, what's that under the covers in the rear there?
Looks like something.
That's some sort of wagon.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of maybe Ford wagon with the flares on it like that. Not sure. They have quite a garage setup going here.
Mm-hmm.
You need a long garage for this thing. Like, this is the longest coupe. I guess it's more a hatch than a coupe, really.
Fastback, liftback, whatever that weird kind of middle area is.
And it's got
It looks in pretty good shape.
It's in good shape.
What's that extra gauge?
I swear it's a compass.
Compasses, yeah.
Huh. I guess because it breaks down so much, like you got to find your way home.
Can you pick me up? I'm on westbound.
Look at all the colors of the AC selector.
Look at that back seat.
Yeah, I know.
That's like a sofa. I want that in my living room. Oh, okay. So we threw some Jensen valve covers on a, what is it, 383?
Yeah, Chrysler 383. Is that a? That's not the oil fill. That's like the old heater thing for the air cleaner. I guess that's just open there on the left header.
Yeah, it would go up into the air cleaner there, and it's got like a aftermarket thrown-in power steering system.
Is that power steering or AC?
I think it's power steering. Looking at it, but it could
goes
be AC.
Yeah, it goes. It looks like it goes up to the firewall.
True.
Oh wait,
yeah.
it is also missing the oil cap on the right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this thing, it looked in really good shape, but I'm gonna say it hasn't.
No, yeah, there's definitely gunk going on even in the.
It hasn't chewed in a
the
while.
carb. Yeah.
Other than that, it's in pretty good shape. Other than this, it's in pretty good shape.
So everything other than the engine, and why is the exhaust capped off?
Hey, have you not seen these stupid things? Oh, I hate them so much.
What is it, Cone? Enlighten us.
It's a style of muffler. It comes from like two-stroke motorcycle stuff, and it's these are baffles, and they like bolt together, and you stack them together, and that's how you baffle the exhaust, and it's extremely restrictive, and it sounds awful. Like this thing would sound just absolutely awful. I'm sorry that was a bad description, but it's just truly awful, okay?
It sounds awful. Yeah, now that you
just
mention
looks
it,
like
I have seen that on motorcycles.
It just looks like the exhaust is just capped off.
It essentially is.
Hey, that's at a limited slip.
How about that? Oh, yeah. Nice. 24 gallons of fuel.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
No, that's
more
only
than
20.
any-
Or no, yeah, that is 24 U.S. gallons and 20 imperial gallons.
And 90 liters.
What's a liter?
Litries.
Nice literature. Yeah, I mean, it's
Make sure to increase your tire pressures if you're going over 110 miles an hour.
keep that in mind. Neat. Absolutely would never own.
No, yeah, no.
Even me, this would be like, I want to know someone that has this so I can look at it and be like, neat, and then just go home.
And then have a party in their house because they have a very nice house.
Oh, that is such a beautiful house.
Could you go back to like the first or second image? There was like another car in the background. What is that car? It's like a Ferrari.
It's either a Ferrari or a Prius.
That's a Prius.
Is it a Prius?
That's a
Okay.
Prius.
yeah,
I hate that the sentence was just said, that's a Ferrari or a Prius. I hate that a lot.
Episode title.
Ferrari or Prius.
Oh,
I think
no.
it's confusing because it's on like a lower level.
And
looks
it's
a lot-
covered in snow.
And it's
Sure.
covered in snow. Yes.
Sure. Oh, I'm getting out of here. This has disgusted me. ZK.
What is that questionable tone in your voice?
That's the same wing,
The
ZK.
spoiler's back.
It
yeah.
is the exact same wing as that Celica that you showed. This is a 1994 Mustang GT that is in beautiful Need for Speed Underground 2 spec.
Nailed it.
And I mean beautiful. Like, this thing still has clear coat.
Oh my god, look
Everything-
at the shift knob. Look at the shift knob.
Shift knob is a snake head.
A cobra head. Mind
at the
you.
pedals.
Specific.
Look at the pedals.
Oh, they're like tribal tattoos.
How would you possibly use those? I'm sorry that you have not introduced this vehicle, but I'm gobsmacked here. This shift
It
knob
is a yellow Mustang GT done up as you would in like the end game of Need for Speed, where it would make you add stuff to your car to get enough points to continue in the game.
Why is his mouth open a little bit? It's so funny.
With the chrome Cobra shift knob with the fake ruby eyes.
I'm imagining like the sound of grinding third gear in the ramp truck and then looking down at this.
Meh. Meh.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Battle sunk.
Mm-hmm. It's got the perfect era correct wheels, but like the thing that got me about this is the paint is still shiny. The headlights are not fogged. There's not a single scratch or dent on this thing. It's got all the Cobra badging, even though it's a GT.
So that wing is bolted onto the factory wing.
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
And it has
You got
a second
third
brake light.
Oh, this is the most well taken care of awful car I've ever seen.
Yes, it's amazing. I'm just like baffled that someone went through the effort of like keeping care of this thing,
Oh boy.
because it's got those awful. What do you describe those wheels as?
I describe those as rent and roll.
Are those painted drums in the rear? What am I looking at?
They painted
Yeah,
they painted
something-
the rotors. Yeah, it's your standard. Oh, it's a 5.0. I didn't realize it was a 5.0 year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has all sorts of quote unquote work done to it with all the Edelbrock and MSD stickers.
True. I mean, this isn't as big of a turd as the SN95 with the 4.6 in it, but it's
Yeah.
still kind of turdy. It's certainly not a Cobra.
Mm-mm.
And
They don't claim it's a Cobra. It just says Cobra on it.
They don't claim it's a Cobra.
Except for the blazoned words.
They're
on the
very
bumper.
truthful in the ad, okay?
I'll give them that. Maybe they weren't the ones that did this.
They
Does
do have the
say-
color matched Ranger, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say they made sure either their pickup matched it or the Mustang matched their pickup.
And they're Ford people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've seen about enough of this.
It's got the Cobra emblem in the grill,
It does, yep.
but it's not a Cobra.
Not a Cobra. Oh man, you should have put that in best of. I would have voted
No,
for you.
no, I have something else.
Oh
Oh,
jeez.
jeez.
Oh jeez.
Did we do a best of last time?
I'm sure
Uh,
we did.
I think we did.
Oh, I gotta look that up. You guys need to
Did
fill
we
some
forget
time
how
here.
to do this show already?
What show is this? Fill some time, ZK. Tell the people about, I don't know, our sponsor.
Our sponsor is ourselves because we're poor, and this series needs all the support from our viewers. Please
With a
send
hat
us-
tip to Piece of Craft Leather.
Yes, please send us all of your fan, not mail,
Leather.
but
Not
Your
mail.
fan leather.
We don't want to hear from you. Just send us your leather.
and cash. Remember, we accept cash.
Ah, okay.
Do we need a stole longer?
Nope, I got it. The
Okay.
winner of last week's, with 68% of the vote, Kurt J. Mack.
Mm.
ZK second, 22%. Cone 8% in last. What did you have, Kurt?
Oh, was it the uncomfortably kind of racist Indian tribute Cadillac or whatever it was, Buick something?
Yeah, ZK had the
Show
limo. You had the Chief, I believe it was called.
Yes, the Chief, Big Chief.
Big Chief. I'm trying to remember what I had. Probably doesn't matter. Obviously, it doesn't
Nobody else
matter.
remembers
It only
either,
got
apparently.
8% of the vote. Oh, it was the truck. That wasn't a truck. It was actually just a car missing the trunk.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can do better this week, huh? I don't remember what mine is. Oh God, it's awful.
Oh man, I almost
Ooh.
picked something that would have matched this theme of themes. But...
Ooh. Ah.
Mhm. 19.
You ever seen the you know that like meme format where it's like, this is the thing you wanted to do. Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. Matt Farah has a Porsche that he converted into like an off-road Porsche. Pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
Mhm.
It's a big thing
I should do
recently.
that. But I got $1,000.
But this is made by a company that apparently brought this to SEMA to try to sell to people. Sorry, I'm vomiting in my mouth. It is a 1969 Porsche 911, and It's
bad.
awful.
So it's primer gray. And I think the worst thing that all of us noticed is the wheels with the worst offset. The entire tire is outside the fenders, right?
Is that even considered an offset? That's like an onset. It's like
It's
not
the
even
onset of
belonging to the
something,
same
Kurt.
car. Yeah.
I think in most states, this actually isn't legal.
No, yeah, you could not drive this on the street. Absolutely not. Look. This is something I noticed when I was looking at. Look at the angle on these CVs.
Yeah, and like the shocks come up through into the hatch area, and the exhaust is coming out where the normal wing would be. And they have trailer lights as the tail lights.
And the whole body is fiberglass. Like, this isn't, I don't think, even an authentic Porsche body.
Yeah, that might be why this looks so weird. Is it like just a tube chassis or something?
I mean, if you look inside of it, it looks like, I thought it looks like a bug. Like, does that not look like a bug to you?
Yeah.
And I wonder if this suspension and like those CV axles and whatnot are bug.
Wait, go back
to
the description.
The description didn't offer very much. It does say 2.3 liter. I think it does say
tubular steel Baja racing chassis with a tuned 2.3 liter.
I think it's bug.
No corners were cut. Far from being a stationary show car with no actual ability.
Uh-huh.
With the AutoZone steering wheel.
Painted over. Used. Yeah, I don't know if this is satire, but
wires.
I looked through a lot of their stuff, and I don't think it's satire. I think they're serious. And they seriously should stop. Immediately.
This isn't even like SEMA car bad. This is like, I don't know. This is like bad kit car bad.
Yeah.
Because there was like one of these at Radwood last year, but actually a real Porsche and done correctly with a tint on the top, and it looked real cool.
That's a Volkswagen motor. There's only 2 exhaust headers coming out.
This is all that, but the wrong way.
Yep. If you wanted to see everything wrong you could do and call it a Porsche, this is it. I need to stop looking at it. Kurt, with some actual best here.
I know. We've been mulling the fact how best became the best worst. So I've actually found best of what I could find in my area. A 1968 Toyota Corona coupe. I didn't know they came in coupes, but here we are.
Super
and
rare.
It looks pretty cool. And the price they're asking must mean that they think it's pretty cool too. $25,000.
How many Corollas could you buy with that? 10? 10 Corollas?
10? Hello, I am bad at math. Let's go with
5
10.
to 10.
Yes.
Between 5 to 10 average Corollas.
Right.
Yes. They
or
call
a
this
brand new one.
Or a brand new one, yeah. They call this a 9 out of 10. It looks like a 9 out of 10. It's a restored, very well done Toyota Corona.
See, like, this is rare and all, but that front 3/4 shot is not selling me on the car.
No, these are not attractive. I'm sorry. This is not an attractive car.
Because, like, the Celicas sort of have that same front, but it pulls it off a lot better. This is just more boxy and bulbous, I want to say.
Beautiful.
But this is in really good shape.
Beautiful cars, beautiful photography too. Like, these are really nice pictures.
That's what I mean. Best at this should be on Bring a Trailer or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, really, that's where this car should be. This should not be on Craigslist.
Yeah, the front, the whole grille fascia is
the downfall.
Hard to look at on these cars. Yeah.
Yep. It has a very sorry bulldog fans, but it has a bulldog face where the front of it's just like folded into itself.
Mm-hmm.
It feels almost like a 50s American, like economy car, kind of.
That's what Toyota was doing then, though. Like the Celica
Yeah.
was a Camaro or a Mustang, and
But
everything
this
they
is
were
like
doing
what,
was
late 60s, right?
right.
68.
Yeah.
So instead of designing their own looks, they were basically looking back at old Americana designs and miniaturizing them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And this shot, like if it was this car for the whole car, I would love this car.
Right.
But it's sadly not.
It is sadly not.
Beautiful
property,
pictures, though. Yeah, beautiful place, beautiful pictures. Man, I wonder why people want to move to Seattle. Yeah, that's a quality take on best stuff. Like this is an actually good ad. It's not overwhelming in information.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice car presented nicely. Nice. If only
Nice. Well done, person.
if only it was a 1969, then it would have been just nice.
Oh, that would be really nice.
Nice.
The nicest.
Size compact. Okay. All right. So we've seen the best. We've seen the worst.
And this is okay. Let me preface this. This is literally the worst ad I've ever seen. I actually feel really bad about posting this. Because if you start to read this, for those at home, I really don't want to read this out loud. Remember how we were talking about those people who personify their cars?
Are they talking from the
kind of-
car's perspective? I need to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I thought maybe they were trying to circumvent the fact that Craigslist
No.
got rid of their
So
personal ads.
for those at home, the title of the ad is "Sexy Lonely Lady Looking for Some Love." Vintage 1971 Volvo 144S, $1,500. Let me read the first two sentences. Hello there. I am a lonely single Swedish female. I am a 47-year-old beauty with an athletic build. At this age, I know all the tricks and will probably teach you one or two. This goes on forever.
Gonna need to edit out that and use it as an alert or something. Just ZK saying, "I'm a lonely Swedish single female."
Please continue.
Oh my, it was
my.
a novel.
Yes. There's more.
I'll leave this here for a moment. Pause the screen if you really want to read it.
Don't worry,
goes-
I have
it
a
goes
Pastebin
from-
link. No,
it
for those
goes-
at home, I have a Pastebin link that they can
Oh,
read.
okay. It goes. I'm narratively concerned how it went from first person to third person.
Yes, it went from first person, and this is
I'm narratively concerned.
from the narrator's point of view. It was like, meanwhile, at the nearby bar, I heard this from a friend that heard it from a friend, and then it starts talking about the car as if it were a person.
Oh no.
And there's a
And then
list.
there's this list. Before I go, let me tell you a couple important points of interest that I got from her ex about her. One, she can't get pregnant. I'm not going to read the rest of these.
This is it?
There is 29 points
All of this for this piece of crap?
for this crappy Volvo.
I thought it was at least going to be like one of the interesting Volvos.
No, this is a 144S. It is a generic-looking Volvo sedan in grot condition.
Primer gray.
A few dents and like this is not a good quality car. It's not pristine. This is not our what we call a bring a trailer car. But this ad made me feel really dirty when I started reading it, and I just feel gross, but I had to share it with everyone else.
Oh, that carpet is gross. Oh, what kind of weird 50 shades of whatever's been going on in here? Ugh. Yeah, it's bad.
The dented door with rust, like, and a 1/4 inch of Bondo popped off or something.
It's bad. It's real
Yeah.
bad. Hey, remember that dash we were talking about with the Thunderbird on Discord? Kind of similar. What's its... what? What? Swedish is weird. That's all I'm going to say.
The old IKEA.
Yeah.
That's
This is
very
all the bad things of a car ad and like amateur fan fiction, and this is
I like how the very last line there is like, that's all you needed. The 1971 Volvo barn find, been under a roof for several decades, appears to be complete. Has not been running years. Brakes work well. Engine not locked up. Open offers. Like, that's the ad. You didn't need the rest of this, my friend.
She is what she is. You cannot bring her back.
What does that even mean?
I don't. There's so much weird stuff. Like we've found shady ads before where it's like, if you go get this, you're going to get shot.
Mm-hmm.
This is worse. Don't talk to this man. Don't give him your contact information.
That's pretty special, ZK.
Yeah, this is an ad that I have like. It's amazing of how awful and how bad, and it's like a warning to others.
We've had the worst car, the best ad, and I think the worst ad I've ever seen today.
Yes.
This has been pretty special.
And you only had to wait 3 weeks for it.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you waited, everybody? Thanks for sticking around. You probably either died laughing or clicked off as soon as you heard ZK say, "I'm a lonely single Swedish female."
We need to find an alert for that.
All right, everybody. I think that's our show.
Please vote.
Yeah, please vote on who you think had the most interesting best ad this week. I'm not going to say who had the best ad this week because that's just not fair. Only one of us had the best ad this week. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I got
Glad to be back.
I got the EBGBs from that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
And nightmares.
Have a good one. See you later.
And thanks again, Piece of Craft Leather.
Yep.
Thanks. I need a shower.